I blank at 7 a.m. this morning. So here, the phrasal verb needs to mean to stop sleeping, right? Is it A, woke in, B, woke up, or C, woke upon? We're starting with an easy one. What do we think? So I woke up at 7 a.m. this morning. I woke in at 7 a.m. this morning. I mixed those up, sorry. I woke in, I woke up at 7 a.m. or I woke upon at 7 a.m. So people are saying mostly B. That's good. If you said B, then you would be correct. I woke up at 7 a.m. this morning, meaning I stopped sleeping. Okay, it's not the same as get up. So get up is when you exit the bed, when you leave the bed, while wake up is boop, your eyes are awake and you stop sleeping, basically. So question 2, the next question. Would you like to your jacket? Would you like to take in your jacket? Would you like to take off your jacket? Would you like to take up your jacket? So here, the phrasal verb means to remove something, especially a piece of clothing. What do we think? People are saying, these are easy peasy. That's the point, guys. But if you start saying that the ones towards the end are easy, then I'll be seriously impressed. Seriously impressed. So people are saying B, 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 B. B? It is B. You're correct. So would you like to take off your jacket? Take off means to remove. Now, you may be looking at this and thinking, oh, but doesn't take off have different meanings? Do be aware that phrasal verbs can have more than one meaning. So be careful with that. In this context, it means to remove something. The next question. She blank after work to the pub for a few drinks with her mates. So mates means friends. It's just an informal way of calling people your friends. Yeah? So she went out after work to the pub for a few drinks. She went in after work to the pub for a few drinks. Or she went through after work to the pub for a few drinks. So here we need the phrasal verb meaning to leave your house and go somewhere, especially to do something enjoyable. Yes, planes take off too, exactly. And you don't take off the plane, right? To take off when you talk about a plane is it leaves from the ground, yeah? Okay, so this one people are saying went out. Very good. Easy so far, right? It will pick up, I promise. So, next question. I told John that I'd blank him blank later. I can imagine people's imaginations are going wild with this one. So here we have, I told John that I'd pick him up later. I told John that I'd lift him up later. Or I told John that I'd, oh my goodness, I keep mixing up. It's because I don't have my glasses and they're so bad today. And my eyes. I told John that I'd put him up later. I told John that I'd lift him up later. I told John that I'd pick him up later. What do we think? What does go through mean? Oof, don't even ask. It has so many different meanings. Check the Macmillan Dictionary, okay? I've linked it in the description. If there are any phrasal verbs that you come across, then always check the Macmillan Dictionary. It's the best one, and it will give you all the definitions. So yeah, you cannot ask someone, what does go through mean? Because it will have like 30 different meanings. You always need to give a phrasal verb in context if you ask someone. That's just a big tip there for you. Anyway, people are saying C, and you are right, to pick someone up. So in this context, to pick someone up means to collect someone with your car or some kind of vehicle. So yes. Next question. I with my girlfriend in January. So here I want to say I ended the relationship, okay? I broke up with my girlfriend in January. I broke off with my girlfriend in January. Or I broke in with my girlfriend in January. What do we think? Mohammed says, so good so far. I'm glad people are doing well. What do we think here? So when you end a relationship, broke up, broke off, or broke in, all of them exist, but for this context, broke up. Very good. Perfect. Too easy so far, right? Let's make it a bit more difficult. Next question. So look here. I've got 2 prepositions that go with the verb. So it's getting a little bit more difficult now, guys. I'm not going to your behavior any longer. So behavior, if you're not sure, behavior means the way that you act. So you can have good behavior or bad behavior. If you act in a good way, a pleasant way, a polite way, you have good behavior. If you act in a very mischievous way, arrogant way, cocky way, then it will be bad behavior, for example. So I'm not going to put out with your behavior. I'm not going to put on with your behavior. I'm not going to put up with your behavior. What do we think? Put up with, put up with, put up with. Very good. Very, very good. So to put up with something or to put up with someone is to tolerate. Okay? I'm not going to put up with your talking. I'm not going to put up with hate messages, for example. Like, I'm not going to tolerate them. Next one. So I'm going for a shower. Can you... The doorbell, please. So doorbell is when you have a button next to your front door and you press it and it goes ding ding, for example. So can you, the doorbell, please. I'm expecting a parcel to be delivered this morning. A parcel is a package, okay? It's like a box that you receive in the post or you send in the post, okay? So I'm going for a shower. Can you listen out for the doorbell? I'm going for a shower. Can you listen up for the doorbell? I'm going for a shower. Can you listen down for the doorbell? What do we think? I will be so surprised if people can get this. Like, if we get all A's or all B's or all C's. I'm expecting mixed ones here. And good. Yeah, we've already got some mixed ones. I love it when it's mixed. It makes it a lot more interesting. Because it means that some people are going to learn something new today. But as well, some people kind of copy. They see like people posting lots of B's and they think, oh, it must be B. However, yeah, it's getting harder, Felicity. I told you it's evil. So this one, I'm going for a shower. Can you listen out for the doorbell, please? I'm expecting a parcel to be delivered this morning. So listen out for is when you very carefully listen and you try to hear a sound. Okay, so it's really specific as this phrasal verb actually, but surprisingly, I use it quite a lot because, for example, in my lessons with students, if we're doing a listening activity, I maybe say to them, okay, I want you to listen out for when he says some specific piece of information. Okay, so it's normally when you're listening for a very specific sound or specific piece of information, something like that. Number 8. Did anyone blank the fact that I completely missed question 6 from this quiz? Tee-hee. So, did anyone notice something that wasn't very obvious? Did anyone the fact that I completely missed question 6 from this quiz? Which is true, I actually did miss it. So here I could say, did anyone pick up on the fact that I completely missed question 6? Did anyone pick out of the fact that I completely missed question 6? Did anyone pick up in the fact that I completely missed question 6? What do we think? Pick up on, pick out of, pick up in. People are getting more and more unsure. It means that we are testing and we're learning something new, which is exciting. Yeah, I noticed. So you could say that you picked up on the fact that I completely missed question 6 from this quiz. Tee-hee. Good. So pick up on. If you pick up on something, it means that you notice something that isn't necessarily very obvious. Yeah? Again, very specific. Question 9. I haven't slept properly for days, and it's really starting to me. So here I want to find a phrasal verb that's talking about having an effect on someone. So I haven't slept properly for days, and it's really starting to catch down with me. It's really starting to catch up with me. It's really starting to catch in with me. What do we think? People are saying it's getting harder. I told you guys. I also said on Twitter, if you're not following me on Twitter, then why not? I also said on Twitter that I made this really hard. So I said I made it so hard you might hate me at the end. But at least we're learning something. We're learning something new. That's the key thing. I love that people are again divided. A and B. Why not C? Whenever we are split, it's always like A and B. It's never C as well. But if you said B, then you're correct, to catch up with. So here, don't confuse it with catch up on. Okay, catch up on is different to catch up with. Use the Macmillan Dictionary. I've put it down in the description to check the meaning of phrasal verbs. Okay, some of these phrasal verbs in here are completely made up. So yeah, you will discover that when you try to find them in the Macmillan Dictionary, and they don't exist. So it's good practice there. So yeah, I haven't slept properly for days, and it's really starting to catch up with me. It's really starting to have an effect on me, we could say. So yes, that's that one. Final question. If you guys get this, I love that you guys are celebrating. Yes, woohoo! So funny. So final question. There are so many scams happening online recently. So make sure you blank dodgy texts, messages, and emails. Dodgy means something dishonest or someone dishonest, criminal, or not reliable. So if you get a dodgy text message, for example, it's one that looks a little bit dangerous, a bit suspicious. Okay, so dodgy can be for a person or it can be for a thing, an object, a text. So what do we think? There are so many scams happening online recently, so make sure you look up to dodgy texts, make sure you watch out for dodgy texts, make sure you see in for dodgy texts. What do we think? If you get this right, then you really are a pro. Good. Watch out for. Watch out for dodgy texts, messages, and emails. Which is true, because I got scammed last week. Again, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you won't know, but I posted on Twitter last week that I got scammed. Someone had sent me a text message and they charged me to receive the text message. So I didn't text them. They charged me to send a message. It's an easy way to make money, isn't it? My goodness. Here's the rest of us slaving away and working hard, making money, and people just send texts and they make money that way. It's crazy. But yes, I managed to get my money back, which is incredible, really, that a scam company actually paid me back. But yeah, I got scammed and it wasn't even my fault. Didn't do anything. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this lesson.